Hello everyone. In this video, we are discussing here about I2U2. So let's see what is I2U2. I2U2 stands for India, Israel, USA and UAE. It also referred to West Asian Quad by Ahmed Alwana, Ambassador of UAE to India. 2021 grouping was called the International Forum for Economic Cooperation. That is new name provided by Ahmed Alwama. West Asian Quad, and it's also called as I2U2. That is India, Israel, UAE, US. There is six areas of cooperation: water, energy, transportation, space, health, food, security. Its grouping also points to India growing engagement with countries in West Asia, including Israel. The Abraham Accords of 2020 had led to Israel formally normalizing diplomatic ties with the UAE and Morocco and Bahrain in the region, marking an important shift in the stance of West Asian countries on Israel. US bet that India can contribute significantly to peace and prosperity in the region. New political will in Delhi to break the old taboos on India's West Asian engagement. India was one of the first countries to extend recognition to Israel in 1950. Jawaharlal Nehru held back from establishing full diplomatic relation with Jewish state. P.V. Narasimha Rao reversed that policy in 1992, but a defensive Congress was hesitant to own the relationship. In the decade-long rule of the UPA government, that is 2004 to 2014, there were no prime ministerial visits in either direction. While the relationship steadily expanded, there was ideologically reluctance in Delhi to give the partnership a political profile. Modi, in contrast, came to power with a determination to impart a political character to the Israel ties. The problem was never with the Middle East, but Delhi's ideological preconception that distorted India's view of the region. But the regional reality was always more complex. Turkey, now a champion of political Islam, had diplomatic ties with Israel since 1949. Egypt normalized ties in 1980 under the Abrahamic Accords promoted by Trump administration. The UAE, Britain, Sudan, and Morocco set up formal ties with Israel in 2020. Modi's decisiveness in engaging Israel was, was matched by his effort to deepen India's ties with Arab world. India's ties to the monarchies were more deeply rooted and become rather important since the 1970s as the main source of hydrocarbons, the main destination for Indian laborers exports, and major source of hard currency remittance. Yet Delhi remained worried of engagement with, with the monarchies, telling itself that they were pro-Pakistan. PM Modi, in contrast, has travelled 4 times to the UAE alone, negotiated a free trade agreement and that is successful, and has ambitious plan for the transformation of bilateral relations. The UAE also backed India's 2019 constitutional changes in Kashmir and is ready to invest in union territory. For political, Delhi, the US and Western policy in the region were a main part of the problem. The immediate focus of Nehru's policy after independence was actively oppose US moves in the region, name of promoting an area of peace. The I2U2 then marks a big break from the anti-Western tradition in India's approach to the region. Thanks for watching.